Hey cousins, welcome to Brown Liquor and Bad Ideas.
Hello, cousins. I'm Cousin Cornell, right? And welcome to Brown Liquor and Bad Ideas. I'm the people's lobbyist, and welcome to this episode. Today we're going to talk about just one of the little small things associated with being a lobbyist. And that is part of my responsibility, I would hope, as a lobbyist, is to do research for you, both primary, which means like I go out and get brand new information, or secondary information research, which means I go out and find information that's already there and bring it to you. In future episodes, we'll start providing some of the links to the information that I'm offering to you over time. But for today, I'm going to do just some basic education just to help us all understand. Cousins, we're having a drink together, so if you think that this is a little bit too light for you, I apologize, but every now and then some of the cousins need a refresher course, okay? And the short answer is, very shortly, a number of you are getting a chance to vote either through the mail or voting in person. Now, in the state I live in, where we vote in person, you actually have a sheet. And the sheet you have the responsibility for to filling in, and with a black marker, filling in very nicely in a nice little circle oval, who you decide to vote for in every one of the offices that are available, okay? For some of you, because I tried in my primary, it's also a question of filling out the same oval on a piece of paper. That same piece of paper is going to be sent back to some recording capability in which that's going to be tabulated, and it's going to be running through a machine. The machine, cousins, is called OCR, optical character reading. And that is, they only recognize a little small dot in a specific location in order to be able to what? Tell the program that that's who you decide to vote for. So, a lot of times you may hear that, gee, people have had their votes not counted, perhaps their votes were incorrect, or perhaps their votes didn't get correctly tabulated. That's what they're talking about in some of those instances. So, cousins, for you, I want just a quick refresher. Don't be mad at me. Have a drink with me. For example, as you go and you say, well, gee, I'm going to subscribe to Brown Liquor and Bad Ideas. If you put an X, which might be an indication that, yes, you want to do that, guess what? It's not going to count. All right? Because what? An X is not read by the optical character reader. So then you say, well, gee, okay, that's not indication, but if I make a check mark on almost anything, that's an indication that's what I want. And so once again, I subscribe to Brown Liquor and Bad Ideas, you put a check mark in it, guess what? It's not going to count. Cousins, I need you to subscribe. All the people who want you to vote for them want you to vote correctly for them. So what you have to do, cousins, is you have to fill the circle out completely, all right? Completely, in a nice little dark circle, in the oval or whatever it is that you have in your jurisdiction, if in fact you're using this type of voting. Now me, I go back a long time ago in which you actually walked behind a curtain, you would pull a lever, the curtain would come behind you, you'd actually physically click mechanical levers in order to identify who you voted for, and then when you finished, it felt good, you would put the thing back the other way, you hear this crack, 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 and it sounded like, gee, I just voted. Those were a long time ago. We don't have those anymore. We used to even have those back in schools. And some schools used to have those in order to teach what? The young people in high school how to vote. We don't do that anymore. That's another bad idea we might want to get back to, don't you think, cousins? But so here we are. We have this opportunity to vote, and however it happens. Now, so don't be in a hurry. If it takes you time to fill in the circle, take time to fill in a complete nice circle. Just for me, I start on the inside and work my way out. By the way, I still have the carpal tunnel. I start on the inside and work my way out, because if you go the other way, I may go outside the lines. This is one of the times, cousins, that I'm advocating staying inside the lines, okay? So you go and you vote, you fill it inside the lines, you vote for whomever you want, and you subscribe to Brown Liquor and Bad Ideas. Cousins, if you've been standing in line, if you've sent in your application, don't you want your vote to count? So don't you be the reason why your vote doesn't count. And by the way, one of the other aspects of it, depending upon where you go, a lot of the mail-in ballots, they're requiring you to sign your signature. Okay, sign your signature. Either one matches what's in your license, or in fact matches what was the signature you placed on when you signed up for your visual voter registration. Okay? So, cousins, if you gave your complete name, then write out your complete name. If you did your initial, do your initial. If you left your middle initial out, leave it out. Whatever you did, make sure it's consistent, because that also will cause what? Your vote to be cast aside as not being correct. Cousins, don't let a couple little small things prevent your vote from being counted, no matter who you want to vote for, because that's your right, it's your privilege, but you also have to follow the rules on this to get it right. Read what's required in your state and requirements, make sure you get it right, make sure your vote gets counted. So cousins, in regards to closing out, remember to wear your masks, don't drink and drive, drink responsibly. This is Cousin Cornell Wright saying take care of yourselves, because I care about you. I want you to care about me too. All the best.
We are the people. We are the people.